Welcome, everyone, to WagerTalk Extra. I am Andy Lang from WagerTalk.com. Dan is on vacation, so I am filling in for him, and joining me is Kevin Dolan. We're going to break down an MLS game. Kevin, you've got a promo code that is up right now, Access20, ACCESS20. Get you $20 off a 3-day pass, and that's going to include all sports. So if you're looking for any type of action that Kevin specializes in soccer, boxing, everything, you're going to get that. Use a promo code Access20 for $20 off a 3-day pass. Kevin, let's go to MLS and let's talk a little bit about Portland and Kansas City. What do you like in this game?
It's funny, Andy, because Sporting Kansas City, I'm a big data guy, obviously. That's what I run the XG numbers and all that other good stuff. And their data this season, especially at home, has been really, really impressive. If you look at the table, you wouldn't necessarily think so, see them where they are near the bottom. But, they ranked top 10 in the entire MLS in defensive XG production this season. They ranked top 5 in defensive XG as well. But a couple of weeks ago, I jumped it a week early with this team, going on their data. Took a 5% on them against Montreal at home. They ended up laying a complete duck egg in that game. They lost 2-0. But lo and behold, the data eventually regresses. It corrects itself. And then they come out in the very next game at home and demolish Minnesota 3-0. So, like I said, jumped in a week too early there. But while there's definitely been probably an element of frustration in terms of backing this Kansas City team, given how good their numbers are, the data heavily favors them this weekend again, especially against a Portland team that are averaging the 5th fewest shots away from home this season, out of any conference as well, East or West, as well as allowing the 7th most goals from open play on the defensive end away from home as well. So I believe Kansas City get back on track this weekend. It's a straight money line price right now. And I like them to get the win against Portland on Sunday over in the MLS.
Great stuff from Kevin Dolan, looking at Kansas City over Portland. Don't forget to use that promo code Access20, ACCESS20. Get you $20 off a 3-day pass, and you will get all of Kevin's sports. NBA is going very well. Of course, follow his boxing and you follow his soccer. So let's shift to boxing, another sport that Kevin specializes in. And don't forget, you can use that promo code Access20 for $20 off a 3-day pass. Kevin, we talked about MLS. Let's talk boxing. Let's talk Conlan and Lopez. Should be an absolutely interesting fight. I'm looking forward to it. You've got a nice little play on this at plus money. So talk to us about this fight. What do you expect from it? And what do you like from these two boxers?
Really looking forward to this one, Andy. It's in the nearest city to me at home, Belfast, and the atmosphere is obviously going to be electric over there. And it's going to be a crazy turnaround for Mick Conlan, in this one, because over the last 12 months, his career has, it's been a roller coaster. He was involved in that absolute war early last year against Lee Wood over in Nottingham. He was up on the scorecards early in that fight. He had Lee Wood down as well, but, Wood grinded his way back into that fight, kind of wore Conlan down, and it was a crazy finish. Conlan was put through the ropes in the 12th. Kind of devastating stuff watching it live as well. Crowd went completely silent. Conlan was laying motionless on the ground. Ambulances called and so on. So, when Conlan came back to fight Miguel Mariaga just a few months later last August, no one, least of all myself, really knew what to expect out of that fight. Really didn't know where Conlan's headspace was at. Here was a guy in Mariaga as well who, while he was past his best, had still fought the likes of Oscar Valdez, Vasily Lomachenko, and so on. But, Conlan came out, handled him with ease. He put him down multiple times in that fight, and then followed that up with a first-round KO of Kareem Gurfi last December as well. So it's safe to say Conlan looks back to his best, and he'll need to be here. Lopez came over to the UK last year, snatched Josh Warrington's IBF belt in Leeds, and looked good doing it as well. So it is a dangerous fight. To me, though, when Conlan switched on, he really is elite level technically. He took former champ TJ Doheny apart in Belfast. Mariaga, obviously, as we just mentioned as well, he was winning the Wood fight fairly comfortably until late as well. So, like I said, if Conlan is switched on 100% here, to me, he is the better boxer of the two. He's got that fantastic amateur pedigree, won multiple gold medals in the amateurs. And while Lopez obviously has skills of his own, he was outboxing Warrington early in their fight last year, he's nowhere near as fluid for me as Conlan is. So if this fight does make it to a decision on Saturday, as I'm expecting it to, with the fight being in Belfast especially, that raucous home crowd behind Conlan here, I believe Conlan gets his hand raised, bit biased obviously too, via competitive points decision win this weekend, and that's going off at a healthy plus 140.
We love those plays at plus 140, man. It doesn't take too many of those to build the bankrolls with those. So great stuff from Kevin Dolan. You can use the promo code ACCESS20, ACCESS20. Get you $20 off a 3-day pass. You can experience all the sports that Kevin Dolan has to offer. Great work in NBA, great work in soccer, and obviously great work in boxing. Get all of the client plays up at WagerTalk.com from Kevin Dolan, Access 20 for $20 off a 3-day pass. Kevin, great stuff. Good luck in MLS. Good luck in boxing. Let's have a great weekend and good luck to you. Now, I would like to bring in Tokyo Brandon, and I'm so jealous because he's got a city as part of his name, and I'm so jealous of that. There was an absolutely fantastic show on Netflix where the characters were all named after big cities, and I was jealous. And
Yeah.
I live in
I
Indianapolis,
have
so
a good I have a good nickname for you. How about Indy Andy?
in Indy Andy isn't that bad. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, and I can assure you nobody gets excited when they hear the word Indianapolis. Uh, years ago,
True.
it was referred to as India No Place. We've broken that we've broken that a little bit, but I'll have to work on my other cities. So, first off, Brandon, congratulations! You're number one in all sports last 7 days. That's huge for clients.
Yes, sir.
You've got a 4% MLB play that is up on WagerTalk.com right now, and I just love your analysis on KBO. It's one of those. I can't say it's an untapped market because you've done a great job of bringing this to
Yeah.
WagerTalk. So I want to talk a little bit of a series preview here. We're going to talk
Yes.
SSG and LG. So give us a breakdown on this
Yes.
series and what you expect from it.
Yeah, so this is going to be tomorrow, and the SSG Landers and the LG Twins are the two best teams in the league right now. They're the top number one, number two. And obviously, since this series hasn't started yet, the lines are not out yet, but I'm going to tell you what to look for. So these are two of the best teams, and the reason they're two of the best teams is because they have the two best bullpens. So in the KBO, if you've followed the KBO at all, you know that runs are it's like a ping pong. The runs are just like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's like a ping pong game. So ERAs are very high and bloated. Average game scores are about 8.9, which is a little higher than MLB right now. So to juxtapose that with Japanese baseball, where the scores are about 6.7. So yeah, scores are quite high. And in such a high scoring league, if you can get two bullpens, number one and number two, LG's collective bullpen ERA is 3.05, which is amazing in the KBO. And SSG's is even better. Their collective bullpen ERA is 2.31 at the moment. LG does have a good lineup. They hit quite well. But SSG doesn't actually. SSG, they're ranked 4 in WOBA out of 10 teams, and their runs per game rank is 6. So we've got one good hitting team, but we've got two great pitching staffs and two great bullpens. So I'm going to be looking at a lot of overs in this series. I keep tabs of how teams go against each other, and these two teams, when they meet each other in the past 10 matches, 10 games, they average 7.7 runs a contest. So I have a feeling when the lines come out, it's going to be quite high because LG has a good lineup. If you see anything 8 or higher, I would recommend to bet the under in this series between the SSG Landers and the LG Twins. That's my advice for this series.
Great work. So we're gonna wait for these lines to come out, and then we're gonna grab the best number from Tokyo Brandon here, and let's talk a specific game. Let's talk about the Hawks and the Fighters. I know you've got a total
Yes.
in this game. You can find all of Tokyo Brandon's plays at WagerTalk.com. He's got a 4% MLB play up. He has all kinds of records with profits at WagerTalk.com, and right now he's currently number
Yes.
one in the last 7 days. Congratulations to you on that. Let's talk
Thank
about the
you.
Hawks and the Fighters. What do you like in this one?
Yes. So tomorrow, the Hawks are taking on the Fighters. When these two teams get together, the scores are always low, really low. Because again, we have two teams with good bullpens, and like I just mentioned earlier, in Japanese baseball, average game scores are around 6.8, which is really low. So when the lines come out, usually it's around 6.5 is pretty average for the book lines. And we have two really good starting pitchers going tomorrow. So for the Nippon Ham Fighters, a guy named Kato is going. Kato's really good, actually. His season ERA is 3.86, which is not very good. But when he goes against the Hawks, his ERA drops to 2.12. He's a really good pitcher, especially against a good lineup like the SoftBank Hawks. So on the other side, we have Joe Gunkel. I don't know if any of you remember him, but he used to pitch in the major leagues. Joe Gunkel. He's got a season ERA of 2.84. He used to pitch for the Hanshin Tigers. He was really good. Little bit drop off this season, but not too much. And the Nippon Ham Fighters are kind of like the Miami Marlins of Major League Baseball. They have really good pitching, and they have terrible hitting. So I look for unders in this, and this is not out at the major books yet, but I did find it on some offshores right now. The game total for this is going to be released at 5.5, and I would recommend betting the under in this because I know 5.5 seems very low, but two great starting pitchers, one terrible lineup, and two good bullpens to me equals under every time. As a matter of fact, these guys just played with tonight with worse starting pitching, and the game score was 4. So I don't see these two teams going to 6. So I recommend betting the under 5.5 in this game tonight between the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Nippon Ham Fighters.
All right, we're taking a look at the under in this game, looking for some really good pitching and some really bad batting. Don't forget, you can get all of Brandon's
Correct.
plays up at wagertalk.com. Just check out his profile page. He's got everything up there. 4% MLB, of course, Japanese baseball and KBO. Brandon, congratulations on your 2023 year. You're doing fantastic. I hope the profits keep rolling in. Good luck to you, and let's cash.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us on Wager Talk Extra. Great stuff from Kevin Dolan and Tokyo Brandon. All of their plays can be found on their profile pages at wagertalk.com. You can use the promo code ACCESS20 for $20 off a 3-day pass for Kevin Dolan. Tokyo Brandon has a 4% MLB plays looking to cash to add to those bank rolls for clients. He's number one last 7 days. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Wager Talk Extra. Good luck on all your bets. We'll see you tomorrow.